Okay, now we're going to have a couple of shots with the GP100 357. These are called speed loaders. They're from Safariland. That's the makers of these. To load these up, they're a bit tricky. A few people in the class do have a few problems with them, but they are a very good, easy way of actually loading up your firearm, especially the revolver. Basically, we need to hold them in a support hand here. We need to twist this and this at the same time to lock them into place. Okay, looks easy, but it is a little bit tricky. When you know what you're doing, it's obviously a lot easier. So we'll load two up, and I'll just show you down at the firing position there how we actually load, unload, and then reload with a speed loader. We won't go from the holster, we'll just go from the ready position. So I'll just put my ears on and meet you down at the firing part of the range. Okay, so we're going to go from the ready position here. We need to hold the gun in our support hand. Stick two fingers through here to hold the cylinder open. Does two things: gives you good control of the gun so it doesn't fall out your hand, and it stops the cylinder from closing. We need to load with our right hand. So we take our speed loader, use a bit of gravity by pointing the gun muzzle down to the actual ground here, lower the rounds into the cylinder, little click, drop it on the floor and close her up. Similar grip to the semi-automatic, making sure you're right up against the bottom of the trigger guard here, but instead of having our thumbs forward this time, we tuck them back and we can lock our thumb over the top of our other thumb, so we're right locked into place. Again, 70-30 with our stance. Need to lean forward slightly. Trigger action is very important with the revolver. We bring the trigger back. As we bring the trigger back, we get the first click and we get a second click, and then fire. Okay, so trigger action of the revolver is very critical because, as I say, the hammer on these, the hammer action on these is needs to come right back in double action and go forward. So the heavy trigger on these guns is the safety part of the revolver itself, in the fact that it's quite hard to just knock the trigger for it to go off. So you can fire quite quickly, smoothly, in two actions if you need to, but it's better to fire a revolver that little bit slower. Unloading this weapon, same as loading. Come back, two fingers go up underneath the cylinder, push the cylinder open. The loading hand now ejects the empty shells, comes back down, and then loads up again. From here, proper grip, back up, and a couple of shots. Back down. Breathing is really important with the revolver too. Because of the heavy trigger pull, takes a little bit longer. You will need to make sure that you pause your breath. So I just finished the last 4 shots off here. Come back, two fingers through, open the cylinder, clear, and clear the weapon. Pretty much it with the revolver.